Well, well, well. Who is that? Who is that girl? What? Hello, kiddos, and welcome back to my channel. Wow, 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 wow. I wouldn't dare for the life of me come back here and not explain what happened this past year. So if you're ready for a yap session, stay with me. It's going to probably be a long one. I didn't really plan what I had to say, so I don't know, stay for the ride, I guess. Last video I posted was in 2023. A lot has changed. Let's start off with thank you. Thank you to all of you for your patience and your kindness and your willingness to stick around until I post again. I wasn't sure when that was gonna happen. I didn't even know that was gonna happen now. But something in me has clicked again and I've been wanting to come back. I have had these weird sporadic feelings of wanting to jump back in full force, and I don't know, something in me just couldn't do it yet. So I'm happy to say that I'm ready. I'm like 95% ready. We'll just see how this goes, okay? 2023 was such a dope an exciting year, and 2024 feels very dark. And I think it was for a lot of people. A few things have changed. Well, a lot of things have changed. I feel like my life is totally different from what I used to show you and all my vlogs and stuff. I am no longer technically living alone in LA. My whole family ended up moving. My whole immediate family ended up moving here to LA. They literally live 10 minutes away from me, which is so nuts, and that has impacted me in many ways. Most of them wonderfully, but also it's a huge adjustment. Needless to say, I've just been trying to balance my life the best way I can. That's it. Nothing too extreme happened to where I felt like I just couldn't do YouTube anymore. I think I fell off of YouTube because I just fell out of love with it. I think I finally hit a bit of like a standstill with my career with social media. I'm still trying to understand what I'm supposed to do. I think we're all trying to find purpose in the things that we do every day. And it's just something that I've been thinking about all year, really since, I don't know, early 2023. I think YouTube was and still is a great platform, and it's something that once brought me so much joy, and then it got too much. And I think finally, after however many years I've been doing this, it finally hit me, and I was like, I feel so performative sometimes, and I feel tired, and I feel dull, and I don't feel fulfilled with my life. There may or may not be some tears in this video. I just really needed time to fall in love with creating content again. Even though I kept doing it throughout the year, I was very much like, I wish I had a regular job sometimes. I wish I had a job that I could clock out of, that I wish I could just go home and forget about until the next day. And social media is not like that. Content creating is pretty exhausting sometimes, dealing with brands and all these things. Like, they are wonderful and great opportunities, but it still takes a toll on you, just like any other job would. But I am not here to complain about my job. Any human being would be a little bit uncomfortable sharing things about their lives, and there's one thing that I hadn't really shared all year because I just feel like it just felt like no one needed to know. This isn't meant to be a crying video, so I'm just trying to not do that right now. Like I mentioned, my family slowly started to trickle in LA, and it was such a huge adjustment just because I hadn't lived with my family in so many years. All I knew really in my adult life was I was living with myself, me and espresso, attached at the hip. And then I would go visit, whether I go visit my mom in Sacramento for like a couple weeks, or I would go to Chile and stay there for a month, or they would come here, and like, you know, we kind of had a great system there, right? I didn't know how permanent that would be, but I knew that that was just the way I was doing life. For a long time, I was pretty much by myself or around my friends. And this is like the life that I lived in Maryland as well. Got to, I moved to LA. I live here for a year. Next year, my mom moves. And it was so cool. I hadn't lived with her for a couple years. So it was fun to have her around. We would hang out and, you know, it's a different vibe. My mom and I, super close. Then my grandparents started visiting a little bit more often. They're a little bit older now and they, you know, their bodies slow down. That's just what happens, right? Without getting into too much detail, in November of 2023, my grandma falls very ill and she kind of has this really bad infection. She had to go through surgery. She was in the ICU. She was in the hospital and kind of in and out of the hospital for a few months. During that time, I was doing the barest of the minimum on social media and I just didn't care. I was just like, I don't care. I mean, I luckily am able to kind of do what I want. I mean, I can tell my managers that I'm having a lot of personal stuff going on in my family and that I really need to tend to them. With my family, because we were so close, and it really is technically both of my grandparents from my mom's side, my mom, my sister, and me. At that time, it was just me and my mom juggling. My uncle isn't here. He doesn't live in LA to like help around enough. And so it was just me and her. So a lot of times, let's say I'm at an event or something, my mom's like, hey, tomorrow you got to take your grandparents to this doctor's appointment. Tomorrow you have to do this. And, you know, I need help with this. And of course, at any beck and call, I have to be there. And because of, you know, there was just so many moments of like, you know, I'm just doing whatever it is during my day. And my mom's like, we're back at the ER. We're back at the hospital. Your grandma's this, your grandma's that. Then it's my grandpa. And there was just so many things going on that I just was like, how am I supposed to show up on social media authentically like I usually do without talking about this? And I just felt like it was kind of like a breach of family matters that I felt like I just couldn't share. For a while, I just felt like I was just living a facade because I'm not being honest with all of you. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, if I start vlogging again, how am I supposed to vlog that I'm literally at the hospital? How am I supposed to vlog that all I'm doing today is taking shifts at the hospital, the ER, or, you know, my grandma's in the ICU. I'm just switching off shifts with my grandma, or with my mom to look after my grandma. I couldn't do that, honestly, if the whole chunk of my day is spent outside of my home or literally just not doing anything that I used to do in my vlogs. I fell in this loop of like, I can't vlog right now. This is not a time in my life that I necessarily want to remember, truthfully. Then in April, my sister ends up moving here. She also pretty much like uprooted her life, moved here, and that's been amazing help because of our grandparents. Even still, you know, we chill, we hang out with our family. It's like we're restarting our lives together again, which is so crazy that LA became our hub. And I'm super grateful that my family's here. I think they've been great support. It's been so nice to just been able to like call my sister and be like, what are you doing today? Or ask her if she wants to go to an event with me. And like these little things that like I never was able to do that now I'm able to do because my family's here. I think that's wonderful. I think that emotionally it took a crazy toll on me, the decline of my grandparents' health. And so last December, we didn't really have a Christmas. We were in the hospital. I luckily, with my boyfriend and his sister, we were able to kind of celebrate our own little Christmas, but it still felt very, you know, a little bit empty. My family, I don't know. It's just like when there's so many things going on, like you don't have the energy to do the extracurriculars, you know? I think for months and months and months, I was really struggling to have a routine. I was struggling to find pockets of happiness. And so it threw me off. Like it threw me off completely. And I'm so grateful of the friends that held me down in that space. I think it's really hard to support people when they're going through these things. And so I'm just very happy of the friends that I have that understood and are welcoming of changes, and they just understand. And I think that's something that I've learned kind of in a harsh way this year, but I always come out very grateful of the people that I do have around me that are just a pillar for me. So that is technically like the bad stuff, right? Like the things that, just a lot of changes. Like, I'm a Taurus. I don't love change. When I do have change, most of the time is because I wanted it. When change happens in life, when it like just happens to you, I have such a hard time, which is why I'm in therapy. And because I feel like I haven't been able to really process my feelings since my grandma and my grandpa had to be in the hospital kind of around the same time. Especially because I'm like technically the youngest, if we're not counting my uncle's kids. But as for like our very, very immediate family, I'm the youngest, and they still kind of treat me a little bit like a kid. And so in many ways, I feel like I want to be relied on, and I think they just want me to live my life. But I can't live my life fully if I know that I can't help. Try to maneuver that as well. So I don't know, just like a lot of things, bitch. Okay. Obviously I moved. I have a new apartment. I moved. I'm so happy that I moved. I'm still technically in downtown, just like a little bit more on the outskirts, and it's a little bit more quiet here, a little bit more peaceful. I still see a beautiful cityscape from my living room, but this has been already like such a great change. I would say the past few months have been very enlightening. I think I have learned a lot about myself. I have learned about the relationships and connections I want to keep in my life and the type of people that I need around me. The Saturn return is returning, basically. I think I had kind of this crazy moment where my mind just expanded so much, and it was making me so uncomfortable because it kind of felt like the person I knew just wasn't there anymore. And I was like, who, like, is this what the 30s are gonna be like, you know? Yeah, I think I suddenly kind of woke up from this lull, and I feel like I heard people talk about their Saturn returns, and I'm like, it can't be that bad. But I was like, bitch, it's like I put Moldavite in my fucking pocket. So I would say this year I learned to prioritize. I've learned to put boundaries where I'm uncomfortable putting them, but they're needed. I have been a conserver of my energy. I have put in time for hobbies and things that just genuinely make me happy that aren't monetized. I have made time to get curious about myself and be in therapy. I've always been an advocate for therapy, but I hadn't found the right person, and like I just hadn't looked into it. And after this year, I think, was it August when I started seeing my therapist? So I've been seeing her for like a couple months, few months, several months, whatever. And yeah, I've just kind of decided to fully dive into my wellness, like my mental wellness, even though I've always been into it. But I just think that I've become so self-aware in ways that have made me uncomfortable, because I often feel not alone in these sentiments, because I talk to my friends and they're having the same like crazy firework moments in their minds, but it's just overwhelming. And it feels like I just aged 10 years. Like, I feel like I wish my brain would stop working. And sometimes I wish I was a little ignorant. But I know that's not really what I want. So here we are learning about ourselves. So I think because 2024 was such a trip and such an experience, I decided that 2025, I'm just welcoming things. As far as like career wise, I'm just ready to fall back in love. You know what I mean? I think that lately I've gotten hints and like little messages and little things, and it's been really nice to kind of be reminded that, for lack of better terms, you are that bitch and you are here for this reason, and at least right now this is what you're supposed to be doing, because it's almost like it just circles right back to this. It circles right back to me sitting in front of a camera and talking and yapping and showing my life and showing up as myself. So I'm gonna keep taking those signs, and my angels are gonna keep talking to me. That crown chakra stays open, so the downloads are downloading, okay? So I don't know what 2025 has in store for me or how I want to really dive back into this, but I think it's time. And I'm super grateful of people asking me where the vlogs have been, and we missed them, and it was like a weekly, like, you know, FaceTime call, and they put it in the background of, you know, whatever they're doing and all these things, where I feel like I feel very happy to be a tiny piece of your day, and even just a tiny bit of your life. And I want to be able to add on to your life. I don't want this channel to solely be about the best jeans you can find, because that's not my life. I think one of the things that was keeping me stagnant in social media and feeling like this is lame and I don't want to do it ever again was feeling like I was being put in a box. I don't like it. I think it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous standard that I think we all kind of do to creators that we follow. I mean, I follow certain creators because they only post a certain thing, and I realized I am interested in more than just that. And it's okay for a creator to be multifaceted. And I've said that before. We're multifaceted beings. Like, I can't just represent one type of person. Like, I do so many things, and I like so many things, and I want to share those things. I would say that's why the rise of like a lifestyle influencer, you know, has really been popping, because people are nosy. Shit, I'm nosy. I want to know what the fuck's going on with your life. And so I think that's why like the living alone vlogs really thrived and they did really well. Thing is, now I no longer feel like I'm living alone. I mean, I technically do still live by myself, but I'm surrounded by friends. I'm surrounded by my family. I have 2 cats now. My life doesn't feel like I'm living alone. And so I feel like I'm gonna have to rework that name. I'm not sure what I'm gonna name those series anymore, but something will come of it, trust. I know traveling and all these, there's so many like fun vlogs, they kind of serve as a escapism, right? And we're like, oh my gosh, these people are traveling to Europe and Australia and like whatever. And it's so exciting because we're not doing that. But I want my vlogs to feel like a hug. I want my vlogs to feel like this is something that you also do. And it's the love for the mundane, because that's what I like to watch. I don't, like, I love a travel vlog, but it doesn't really feel relatable because I'm not really traveling right now. I'm kind of avoiding traveling a little bit, and I've been very much a homebody this year and have been really in tune with just me, my space, and the surroundings of that. And so that's what I want to show. I think that if I do travel and do these things, of course I'm gonna show it, and I'm gonna make sure that y'all enjoy that. But my vlogs sometimes might just be me sitting here and yapping and cuddling with my cats, or it may be getting a little coffee like right outside with a friend, or it's not going to be an extravagant life, but it's extravagant to me because I find that extravagant. I find that that's luxury. It's a luxury to have my family here. It's a luxury to have the apartment that I have, the life that I have, and all the love that I have. All of that to me is a luxury. And so no, I'm not going to probably post $1,000 worth of a haul. but I'm gonna show you what my life is filled with, and that is worth way more. If you haven't already subscribed, I don't know if you're new or if you're just now finding out that I have a YouTube channel, because so hit the subscribe button, and or re-hit the subscribe button if you have unsubscribed because I haven't posted. Listen, I totally understand. I get it, trust me. A big stretch. Oh, that's a big one. That's my baby. Say hi to YouTube. You missed him too? Okay. Oh, he was napping too. This is Mr. Chai. Mr. Chai. Say hi. He's kind of a menace, honestly. He's a boy. Him so cute. So that's that. I have no idea how this video turned out, but whatever. We are being candid, and that is the theme. Candid, mundane, luxury. So happy New Year, and I hope you're having a wonderful day or a wonderful night or whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello. Hello. It's Christmas Eve. Gotta wear a sweater, you know? As I told you in my in the first half of this video, things are different. So vlogs are going to naturally look different. Christmas was different this year, and it was like that last year as well. It's why I didn't show it, but I think it's important to show these moments as well. This morning I woke up just whenever I wanted to wake up. Today feels like my Christmas. Tomorrow I'm spending it with my boyfriend and his sister. So we're gonna go to Six Flags. And we did that last year as well, because obviously I didn't really have much going on. I'm gonna go see my grandma at the hospital, and she's doing okay. She might be able to come home soon. So yeah, her surgery had to do with like digestive issues. Again, I don't want to go too much into it because it's really none of anybody's business, but she's had 2 surgeries, basically a year apart, and then just like a really, really long healing process this year. So, you know, it's been a lot of doctor visits. It's been a lot of just kind of hanging around and making sure she's okay. And then my grandpa on the other side also has his own stuff. So we all kind of share the load with my mom and my sister. So today is not really any different. We had our own Christmas already at the beginning of the month, which was really cute and fun. I don't even know if I think we took like a family photo, but hot. I need to take my sweater off. Anyway, my sink got clogged the other day. I don't know what happened. The guy just said, like, you know, just like regular stuffiness from a different person living here, and, you know, grease buildup. It was pretty gross. So my sink was atrocious. My battery's about to run out, but my SD card was running out. So I needed to clear up some space, and just how different my life was. Not that my life is like extremely different, but it kind of is. I was like looking through my footage from Spain when I went, and you know, so full of life. Something that I want to get back to. I feel like that's what I was saying, my mental state has been so weird with everything changing. I'm not a person that like really withstands change very well. Like I do, like I can adjust and I know it's necessary, but sometimes it pisses me off. My apartment is a little bit of a mess, but I need to pack. It's literally just for the night, but I have these shorts from Skims. Oh, I also took up crocheting. Very fun hobby to have. Look, I was making these little flowers. I'm honestly mostly just practicing. I do want to make an actual blanket eventually, but this is what I have so far. I have a bunch of unfinished things. I have this other heart. Oh, hi, Mr. Man. Oh, are you so cozy? That's a cozy one. And most shocking of all, I have a TV now. If you follow me for a long time, you know that I haven't had a TV in over 10 years. So I'm a full-blown adult. Okay, I need to get going. Hi, besties. So I'm at the hospital cafeteria. I just ate some chicken and mashed potatoes. It's the first time I've tried like their actual food. Usually I get like a coffee or something like that. But my grandma is in great spirits and I'm very happy. Like when I got there, she was like, oh, hi. Like it just, you know, a day makes a world of a difference. So it was really nice to see her like upbeat and funny and cracking jokes. Because last time I was here, she was cracking jokes, but it was because she was sedated. So she was a little high. But she's doing really well nonetheless. And she wanted to sleep. So she was like, oh, like go get some food. So I came down here and tried it. I didn't eat all the mashed potatoes. I'm really full, but I have my tea and I have my yarn. And I'm working on making a scarf because I remember I said I really like this yarn. So I'm starting very small and humble, but we're doing it. Hello, you have reached editing Javi. I didn't mention, I think I just assumed you knew, but on actual Christmas Day, I went to Six Flags with my boyfriend and his sister. And so that's what I'm talking about here. Anyway, I'm sick, so. I rode a lot of rides, but I'm starting to get queasy. I don't know if it's my age, but when I was younger, like I could just go and go and go. And now I'm like, all right, I need a little break. Like my stomach feels a little queasy. My sister and my grandpa are coming soon. I think in like a couple hours, so my shift is nearly done. I've been cleaning and tidying up. Today is the 29th, December 29th, and I just really wanted to tidy up before the start of the year so I can feel like I have cleansed my space a little bit. I don't have a shower curtain yet because I just can't decide on what I want. I'm trying to be a lot smarter with my purchases and trying to find things that I love until I really buy them. I mean, what? Until I buy them. So for now I just have the liner. I've been rocking the liner for a couple months. Cleaning the sink is so satisfying to me. Anyway, I'm also supposed to be going out to the Laugh Factory, but truthfully, I wasn't feeling very outgoing tonight. That was silly. That shower was glorious. As leave-in conditioner, I have the Super Milk. My mom put me onto this. Use it, and the smell, oh my gosh, it's absolutely addicting. If you like anything zesty and like lemony, you are going to love this.
No, I'm not gonna make those changes because those ideas are really bad. Well, Jessica and I is the whole reason Pepperwood gets